So I didn't have any gray felt. I saw an idea on Pinterest for a little gray owl, but alas, I only have white. So I am going to freehand the shape, which might be a huge mistake, but here we are. Let's make an owl. Cut a curve. All right, so you're gonna make this kind of bell shape. Well, bell, if you're really bad at drawing bells, it's roughly the same thing. And then set that aside. Right, and then let's see. So he's got some little horns. It's gonna be a pretty easy shape. You're gonna kind of start at a point and then cut like so. And then we have something like a Z. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little deeper because I don't know. I made that a whole bunch of uneven. There we go. Cute. Okay. It's gonna look like Batman if he had jaw implants. Okay. Let's see. Then I'm going to cut out the same shape again from the felt. When you're cutting it, you can pin it so because fabric has a tendency to shift. Exhibit A. Struggling. Okay, they line up good enough. Okay. Set that aside. Basically throw it on the ground for now. Okay. So I am completely lazy, so I'm going to hot glue this. I'm probably going to add some stitching later to make it look cute, but leave a little bit at the bottom on the widest point because I'm going to add a little bit of stuffing just to fill it out a bit. It'll be a fat and sassy owl for the holidays. And you'll want to make sure when you're hot gluing that you tap it, because if you put too much hot glue, sometimes it'll seep through and burn you. And although I have dragon blood, I don't want anybody else to get nabbed. So you're gonna wait for that to dry, which honestly doesn't take very long. I'm impatient, so I'm gonna just cut out another shape for the owl. He's gonna have 2 eyeballs, so you're gonna kind of, I would snip off a little corner. I've got 2 very awkwardly shaped felt ends. And then set that aside on the floor. And then you're going to kind of roughly cut a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can trace it if you want. I am going to have a special looking apple. Or apple. Owl. I mean, we could make an apple, maybe for teachers. I'll do the same. They're roughly the same size. Hey, I did good. This one's pointy. It's okay if your owl has a lazy eye. You always catch me doing this anyway. All right, so I've got 2 circles for the eyes. And then I was gonna make the beak out of black because it's a white owl. They usually have the little black beaks. So I'm just going to, let's see. How do I wanna do this? I'm gonna cut off an end, toss that fabric. I think I'm gonna make, there we go. It's a tiny little beak. Okay. And then I'm also going to cut off the piece for the scarf, which essentially is just going to be a really long piece of felt that's just going to be tied. I don't have time for straight lines, so it is what it is. On the ends, I'm going to put a little bit of fraying too, because it's cute. That one looks like a finger. Make sure they're not too thick, or at least consistent. Make sure it'll. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. So it's probably dry by now. So you're going to take a little bit of stuffing, or a lot, and put it in your owl. Just be careful. You want to be gentle because the hot glue, I mean, honestly, hot glue is not really meant for fabric. So I already have a hole here I'll have to patch. Okay, so it's a little fluffy, but not too much. I'm gonna fix this. If you ever do burn yourself with hot glue, you'll want to rub your fingers together. It disperses the heat a little quicker. Hot glue cools off really fast, so just in case you accidentally burn yourself, that's a good little tip. You just rub it real quick. You'll end up burning 2 fingers, but it'll last a lot less time. That's why you want to be careful. Oops. Some of the stuffing's sticking out. I'm just gonna cut it off. Cut it off! Okay. Okay. So you've got this kind of chunky little owl shape going. And then you are going to just glue the eyes. Well, let's place them. You want to put a little bit of hot glue, not a ton. Otherwise it'll ooze around the eyeball and your owl will look like it has an infection. So you want to take some thread. Looks like I've got some left over from another craft. And you'll want to string it through the needle. I'm just going to tie a little knot. I have a tendency to pull it through a little too far, so this will at least give me a speed bump before I realize it's too late. Alright, and this is just going to be, see, I'm gonna kind of try to find an opening to sneak it through so there's no tail. But I'm going to go through like so. This is just for looks. And you want to kind of just wrap it around gently so you don't pucker the fabric. You want to put on a scarf. So kind of find the middle and put a little dab of hot glue. And then stick her on about where the scarf will fit. And then I think I'm going to do something. So I'm going to try to show you. So it's like this. So what you want to do is cross it. And then I'm just going to twist like so. So it'll sit like that. Well, like that. So let's see. So I want to glue here. Here. And then I'm going to put a little dab of glue here as well. So you have that. And actually, I was gonna do paint, but maybe I'm just gonna cut a little dot out of the black felt. Excuse me. Cute. Okay. Put a very, very small dab of hot glue. As small as you can get. Alright, and there you have your little elf, or your little elf. Oh, okay. And there you have your little owl. I'm just going to cut a little strip of white for the loop. So you want it to go like so. And then I'm going to add a little dab of hot glue to keep it together. And then on the back, oops, excuse me. Then on the back, you're going to do another little dab. Alright, and now he is finished. Well, okay, maybe a little more hot glue. There we go. Alright. craft numero dos. All right, this one's gonna be a little more complicated because it's gonna be a gingerbread man, so he's got shape to him. He's got more curves. Start out cutting a rectangle shape. Make sure it's wide enough for 2 legs and some space in between. Okay, and then cut diagonally up. Oh, I can't see it. I'll show you. Give me a second. Cut diagonally up like this. Okay. Like so. And then we go up roughly to the straight right here. Okay, so it's like a little t-shirt. You'll go in a little bit further. And then cut out kind of a circular head shape. Like a so. And then it looks kind of wonky right here, but we're gonna curve the hands. I left off with one hand curved and the other one trimmed. So at the end, you're going to curve off this as well. Like so. I might make him a touch skinnier. Okay, so you want to cut straight down the middle, but not all the way, only to where his legs would end. So probably here. And then curve his legs. If you mess up a leg, you can just make the other one a peg leg and make him a pirate gingerbread man. I always have a backup plan. That's not true. I don't always have a backup plan. I'm gonna trim a little bit between the legs so they stick out farther, which if you go too far, you can make him a cowboy and then he can be John Wayne. See? Easy. The only happy little accidents, as Bob Ross says. I'm gonna trim inward, so he's got a bit of a waist. Okay, so I have my gingerbread shape, which needs a little bit of sanding, but there we go. Okay, he's got a couple tumors. Gotta surgically remove those. All right. Now, like the owl, I'm going to trace this guy. This one I might pin just because it's a little more complicated. So let me go grab some pins. When you pin it, make sure it doesn't bunch as best you can. If it bunches, you're probably going to have a different size cutout than you would if it didn't bunch. Okay, so you've got a little gingerbread man like so. I'm gonna unpin him. Okay, so now I'm going to hot glue, but I'm going to leave a little bit up here. I'm probably gonna only hot glue maybe half of his head, like about to here, so I can put some stuffing in there because I think he would just be cuter with a little plumpness. Okay. So while that is drying, I think I'm gonna trim. One of his hands got a little pointier. Okay. It's kind of a good time to make sure you get the edges trimmed. Obviously, even if you pin it, sometimes it won't be perfect, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, it's got a little bit of armpit hair. There we go. That's okay. All right. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm gonna make his eyeballs. So again, I found this idea on Pinterest. I like to find things that people sell and then figure out how to make it, which a lot of it's pretty simple. It just takes a lot of time. So obviously, I mean, not everybody has time to make this stuff, and it's super cute. So, see, I'm gonna cut off a little corner. Sorry, my area is getting a little messy. Okay. Got the two whites of his eyes, and then gonna do some black for his pupil. A good way to cut a circle is to move the, if you have sharp enough scissors, you move the felt, and it makes it, you can get a round shape easier. Or at least round-ish. It doesn't have to be perfectly round. Oh, I almost forgot. And you're gonna make his mouth. So you can do a smile or a frowny face or a scared face. I'm gonna do a scared face because the idea I saw on Pinterest is a gingerbread man getting eaten, and I think that's hilarious and also morbid, but funny. Okay. Okay. Got his face. And actually, I think I am going to do the same thing. So I'm going to cut like a little jagged edge from the top of his head, like that. Mwahaha. All right, and then you're going to take a little bit of fluff at a time. Probably even less. Okay, and I'm going to glue the head closed. It's the closest I'm going to get to being a neurosurgeon. Ooh, burnt myself. That's why you gotta be careful. And now for the eyeballs. So after your gingerbread man looks a little bit like this, you're gonna glue on the pupils gently. It's easy to overdo the hot glue when things are this small. Which alternatively you could sew it on. I'm just lazy. little spider webs that come with hot glue. Ugh. Okay. And then the mouth. So I've got that. And then, let's see. He probably should have some kind of decoration to him. I mean, buttons are pretty safe. But what color? Do green? I think we should do green. Cut off a little chunk of green. Actually, maybe he should wear a tie. I think that would be cool. I'm gonna do a tie. That's gonna be kind of a triangle shape. So I made it kind of long, so I think I'm going to wrap it around, kind of like a tie, but like a lazy person's tie. Like if you got frustrated with your tie one day and then you hot glued it, like I'm about to do. I literally just wrapped it around itself. And then, yeah, that's cute. It's gonna be a businessman who's getting eaten alive. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the scrap light and I'm going to cut off some collars. Because hello, ties go with collared shirts. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do that first. And glue the tie on. Turn that like so. And then the little collar. Some stuffing coming out. It's a problem with hot gluing things. It gets the job done faster, but not necessarily more efficient. Okay. Ta-da! Tiny little gingerbread. Oh, it's got one leg longer than the other. Hang on, let me perform a little magic. I'm just gonna cut off part of his leg. Okay. All right. He's pretty cute. Okay. Okay, cute in a terrified way. I am going to make the loop. I'm going to do it in the same color as the Gingerbread Man. No, that's not long enough. Actually, I'm going to make it in white. I keep changing my mind. I'm sorry, you guys. Uh-oh. Almost hot glued my scissors. Okay. Do a sliver. All right, and now he's got a little loop. Ta-da! The next one will be a penguin. Easy peasy. All right. So the body is just going to be the shape of an 8. Excuse me, I'm very violent with these scissors. Okay. I'm going to cut out of black fabric the size I want my penguin to be, because I have a tendency to make it too small. Whenever I fold something to cut it, it's kind of, let me see, how big's my gingerbread? Yeah, let's do, I might still be, okay. Okay, so I'm going to fold it like a hot dog and then cut out roughly the shape of a 3. Okay, so it's kind of comes out like this, so I'm going to trim it up a bit. So let's see, I want this to be a little more slender. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be like a figure 8, except the, oh, excuse me, this is a little uneven, except the bottom's going to be slightly bigger. All right, and then you are going to cut out the same shape from your other half of the black fabric, or felt. I keep saying fabric. I'm going to pin mine just because it's kind of big. We want to make sure again that it doesn't bunch. Okay. So, while that is drying, you're going to take some of your white and kind of cut off roughly the size you want. So I'm going to use my black as reference. So I want it to be about this wide, probably, and let's see, probably about this tall. Okay. So, I'm going to do the figure 8 thing again. Only this time you want it to be a little more slender. I'm going to do a heart. Or try to do a heart. Alright, and then you want to cut out the little eyes. I'm just going to do 2 black dots. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow and I'm going to cut out a beak. Let's see. I've got some scraps from the last beak. cute. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stuff her a little bit at a time. Sometimes the fluff escapes and you have to trim her back down. Okay. A little bit of puckering over here. Okay, and then we're gonna glue on the little white part. It's gonna look like this, kind of like an Oreo got run over by a semi-truck. All right. And then for the little eyes, glue them. Be very careful, don't burn yourself. Spider webs. Alright, so far this is what I have. Okay, and I think I'm gonna give him a little scarf too. Let's see what color. Well, let's just do red. I feel like I should do something different, but red's my favorite color, so let's do red. Long strip, and then cut out the little frill at the end. Yeah, that's big enough. Okay. Put a little bit of glue in the middle. Stick her on. And then wrap the scarf around like so. And you want to glue and make sure it stays in place. so. Like so. All right, and I've been using white for the hangers, but this one I think I'm gonna use a black one because it just makes more sense to me. Alrighty, so there's your little penguin ornament. Now I am going to make a teacup. Sorry, there's something going on outside. Okay. So start out by cutting a square or what you think looks like a square. Who cares? It's not going to stay a square. Okay. So on the top, I don't know why I turned it around. Any one of these can be the top. You're going to cut like so. You want to curve it around and then straight up. So it's a curved rectangle like so. Okay, now here comes the tricky part. Pay attention. You are going to cut a loop over here on the straight edge. Ah, I said pay attention and I barely know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to cut around like so. This is going to be the handle. And then we're going to meet it from the bottom. So it looks like a this. Ta-da. Okay. Now, you are going to bunch this. Okay? And then right where the handle would meet the cup, you are going to make a slit. Like so. Okay. And then you're going to cut out the middle. As careful as you can. Don't cut yourself. It's easier said than done, but okay. Oh. This cup is handmade, so it's a little wonky. So, ta-da, 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 ta-da. Okay. Pow, pow. All right. And now, like the others, you are going to pin it down and cut it again. Make sure not to bunch it too much. I don't know if you watched all these videos. I got to tell you this over and over again, or maybe you're just a slow learner. I myself am a little slow. So, that's why I'm good at arts and crafts. Okay. Gonna cut it around. Make sure the bottom of your cup is flat. You don't want it rolling over when you're trying to drink your tea. It's just good advice. All right. Cut out the, oh well, excuse me. Cut out the, hiya. It's okay if the little one beneath it's a little wonky as long as you don't see it. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. Okay. Okay, so it's going to look like so. We're going to glue all but the top so you can stuff it. Running out of hot glue. Okay. Okay, so while this is drying, you're going to cut out the saucer part. So this is just going to be an oval. So if you're bad at crafts, it'll just be the equivalent of cutting out a rectangle for you. Okay. I'm going to cut out two. This one I'm going to try to make a little fluffy too, just because it'll look better. Okay, so like the cup, we're going to glue all but the top. Make sure you do a really thin line for this one because it's not very large. It'll show your secrets a lot easier. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for that to dry. And then let's see. So for the front of the cup, I'm gonna do a funny mustache. So you wanna cut out a rectangle for that. You can put anything on the front of your teacup you want. Just cut it out, glue it. You do you. This is your Christmas. I'm not your mom. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a little triangle. And then I'm gonna cut an angle out like that. So you have a funky V shape. And then you will want to meet this. So you wanna cut not all the way to the V, but you'll wanna cut a V underneath. Like that. You wanna curve it a bit. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna look weird. Okay, you're gonna curve this up and then like so. Like so. Oh. Sometimes you have to fix the triangle a little. Okay, so you got a funny mustache. Okay, now comes the part for stuffing. So I'm going to start with the saucer. You won't need very much fluff for the saucer. It's really just enough to make it a little more three-dimensional. I mean, everything in this world is three-dimensional, but sometimes our eyes are stupid. And you're going to stuff your cup. And sealer. Okay. Now you want to glue your funny mustache or whatever you chose onto the cup. Okay, then you're going to glue your cup onto the saucer. You want to leave a little bit of space on the bottom, like that. I feel like it's missing a little something, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to round off this edge just a teeny bit. Because it's a little pointy. And then I'm going to cut a sliver of brown. So like so, and then I'm just going to round off the edges here. I think that's a little thinner. I'm going to cut off a little divot there. Okay. I'm going to glue the little brown sliver on the top, and you want to show a little bit of white so you can see the other part of the cup. It can be dark brown or light brown depending on how you take your tea or coffee. Okay. So there you go. All right. Gonna make the loop for your tree. Ooh. Then you're gonna fling it off of the table. All right, and then there is your cup of coffee or tea, whatever you drink.